What's going on, everybody? Last week we covered the breakdown of the firearm. We covered the breakdown of how to just do basic cleaning and maintenance and stuff like that. And like I said, there's a Glock 45 Gen 5. It's clear. There's nothing in it. The next step that we need to talk about is how people hold it. I don't know how you hold it, but I know how I hold it. And if I'm carrying, normally I'm not going to show you where I carry, but I'll show you different positions in the future that you can carry and how to angle your firearm, how to safely carry it, all these things. So if I carry and I'm pulling from the holster, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my shirt, I'm going to pull up, I'm going to grab with the other one, and as I come up, a lot of people will flail out to the front like this. I don't do that. I don't find that that's a very effective way of doing it. I pull, and I present from here, straight forward. I present from here, straight forward. So, shirt up, pull out of the holster, straight forward. And always do I have the first hand here. Thumb. I want as much real estate right here as possible along this slide. As much as possible. So when I pull out, I've got this. I typically leave my thumb up, finger out of the trigger guard. I come over, I grab this, I overlap, and my thumbs come together immediately. I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm up here. I always have these up here along this. And if I need to adjust, I can come down more, I can come up, I can move back, I can move forward. But this is how I'm always, when I present, I'm presenting from here and out. In this position, you need to really make sure you practice your thumb placement, because that slide, as it's racking and you're firing, it'll come back and slice your thumbs, putting your thumb at when you're carrying your firearm, if you're presenting or at the range, because you'll cut your thumb open. So be very careful in this position. And when I come on target, I come on target with the front sight first, and I bring the back to it, because what a lot of people do is they'll have the back up and they try to bring the front up and they've got the weapon off target. You don't want to do that. You want to align the rear sights with the front sight post. So, shirt up, out of the holster, come together. I'm up a little, I'm just slightly up, and I bring on target the rear sights. So, again, shirt up, out of the holster, forward. Front sight post is just slightly up on target. So again, one more time. Shirt up, out of the holster, present forward. What did I do wrong? I'm angled down. And I have to bring the front sight up to the rear sights. You don't want that. Again, shirt up, out of the holster, present forward, slightly up, lined up. That's how you come on target. I come on target with the pistol just slightly up, and I bring it online. A lot of people will try to come up like this, and they're still off. It throws your eyesight off. How do you know if you're left eye or right eye dominant? Well, there's several ways of figuring that out. You can pick a spot that's, let's just say, about 20 feet away. I'm gonna have the dogs in there laying on the couch right now. I'm gonna demonstrate this to you. I make a diamond, and I close it in just a little bit. I want a smaller diamond than all the way out here. Smaller diamond. And then I take the dog's head or a fixed object somewhere, and I put the dog's head in the center of that diamond. And then I bring my hands back to keep the dog in the center of the diamond. Close your right eye. I can't see anything. Close your left eye. Oh yeah. So I'm right eye dominant. You pick a object, and then you move your hands with the diamond. You focus that object, both eyes open right now, and you bring your hand back to your eye, and you let your body control, keeping the dog's head or the object in the middle of it. Then close both eyes. Open one. Okay, right eye, I can see everything. Open the other one. Oh crap, I'm blocked with my hand. Your body will naturally take that sight picture and gravitate towards the strongest eye, whatever eye dominant you are. Yeah, it's pretty neat. You you can, there's different ways of doing it. That is just the simplest way that I know of to do it. If I had both eyes open and I took the tip of my finger and I'm lining the tip of my finger up at the bottom of her nose, and I try to keep it on the bottom of her nose, as it's coming back, my body's going to continue adjusting the tip of my finger at the bottom of her nose. What's going to end up happening is I'm going to come all the way back to my face. Right, my finger is blocking the nose now. Right eye is right over the center of the finger. The left eye is way over here. So I know I'm right eye dominant. There's different ways of playing into figuring out what side dominant you are. So right eye dominant, I am right-handed. Clear firearm. Again, shirt up, out of the holster, present forward. Again, shirt up, out of the holster, present forward, on target. That's how I do it. Shirt up, out of the holster, present forward, on target. I always try to leave my front sight post. If I can remember, I try to make it a habit to always bring it on target. See that last little hitch right there is me bringing it on target. So shirt up, out of the holster, coming forward, slightly up, on target. I don't want to be like this. I want to be on target from the front sight post. The front sight post is the most critical because you can line the rear up and it's perfectly where it needs to be. Knowing what eye dominant you are. Now, once I get proficient in carrying, I can literally shirt up on target, leave both eyes open. And I know, because I've practiced so much with both eyes, with my right eye closed at the range, and then I leave both eyes open to try to get an adjustment and see where I'm at when both eyes are open. So eventually you get to a point where within 15, 20 feet, 15 to 30 feet, you can actually just shirt up, out of the holster, both eyes open, fire. Because you're practicing, it's repetition. It's pulling it out of the holster, presenting forward. You always want to be slightly lean forward, knees just a little bit bent, and your body takes the recoil of you firing. Now I've seen people go like this. They'll lean back when they're firing and they're like, it doesn't work. It's just you're all over the place. You want to be knees slightly bent, present forward, and I try to come all the way out. Lock it out. Some people like locking it out. I don't like locking it out. I find it actually makes me, I'll get almost to the lockout point. So I'm here. I'll get almost to the lockout point, but I'm not extending all the way to hyperextend my joints and stuff like that and cause that impact to just wear out my joints. If I'm training a lot or something like that, whatever it may be, what I do is I just come out and I present and I'm almost locked out, but I'm not quite. And just slightly forward, knees bent, I'm on target. That's the comfortable way that I like to perform. You may be different. Also, you have to pay attention to the type of firearm you have. This is a right side ejection port. So if you're a left-handed shooter and you're coming up to the range, or you're left-handed and you're carrying a right side ejection port on some weapons, you may not want that. You may want an ejection port on the right side because so now I'm left-handed and I'm coming up, it's a little awkward, but I can actually shoot left-handed and right-handed with no problem. So if I'm left-handed, it would be shirt up, out of the holster, coming forward, present. So ejection port is on this side. So if you're at the range, chances are if you're training or you're trying to pass a test or something like that, CCL, the instructor is going to have you actually take the firearm, lay it with the ejection side up instead of down, and then take the mags from one side and move it over to the other. So when you come up there, you can come up, secure your firearm with the ejection side port up, bring it on target, and they'll say, make ready, load one mag, and then you'll load one mag from the right side over. It's how you're efficient and how you're practicing things and stuff like that. There's a whole other window of getting into what you can and can't do, especially walking around like this. trying to see how many of you in the comment section actually correct me. You never want to do that. You always want to treat the firearm, if it's loaded, it needs to be always pointed in a safe direction. You need to make sure there's no ammo in it if you're practicing. What I like to practice with, if I'm doing things, is this right here. It's Glock 9mm ammo. I think 9mm, 380, 38 Special, 357 Magnum. I might be missing one or two. They all take the same type of round. This round could be used for all of them. It's a plastic, it's a hard plastic round, so it doesn't wear out like some of the other rounds do, where people claim, oh, they're great training rounds. No, Glock makes the best 9mm training round you can find. So, and if you're in your kitchen or something like that, and you're wanting to, or you're somewhere where you want to practice loading mags, with these dummy rounds, you have to charge it each time. So, again, it's clear. Now, in this position, we're going to practice as if we're trying to protect our home. We're going to put the weapon on point. We're going to adjust the best that we can, because now we're practicing with speed and dummy rounds, not real rounds. We're practicing with speed. So a lot of what I told you before, where I would have the front sight post up, forward, and then level out, some of that kind of goes out the window, because now you're in a stressful situation and you're simulating somebody's attacking you. Just get it on target. At that point, you ain't got time for the fundamentals. Will be there, and you'll, as you practice, you'll adjust accordingly. Get it on target, fire. In a position like that, your body will respond accordingly based on how you've been practicing, so don't sweat it. You'll put the firearm on target, and this is what I'm trying to simulate here. Instead of the slow coming out, front sight post, pulling up, leveling out, it's just here and on target. That's it. Mag in. You notice how when I put the mag in, that's another thing too, is when I put this mag in, I make sure it's in. Round in the chamber. Fire. The last round, when the last round ejects, the slide is going to lock back anyway, most of the time. So it's going to eject. You see it locked back? It's locked back. You're going to take your next round, or your next mag, right in. This is the practice part. So, you see how I was looking at the camera and I messed that up? That's because I don't practice looking at the camera. So, again, clear weapon, magazine in, charge, fire. And that's how you do it. You just practice, repetition, repetition, repetition. Again. And you just keep doing it over and over and over and over again until you're just like dynamite. You're not having hiccups, you're not having problems. And then when you think you've got it all done and figured out, you keep practicing. Always with dummy rounds. You never want to be practicing somewhere around home, around your garage, anywhere. Around a buddy's house, always dummy rounds. Unless you guys are actively in a safe position, at a range, taking care of yourselves, making sure everybody's safe, or you've got like one of the training officers, the safety officers on the lane watching everybody. You never ever want to be practicing inside your home with a live round. It's way too easy to reach over there and grab it by accident when you're training and then put a live round in it, and next thing you know, your neighbor's dog or kid or somebody else or yourself is no longer existing. One more time. The problem with these rounds is they go flying and then you got to find them. The next step would be, this would be like if you're in your home, you're in your room, like I said, backed into a corner or something like that, and you're loading from the dresser or from the floor, you can practice this. But if you're a concealed carry person, you've got it on you, you want to practice actually pulling from your hip, doing it, pulling the next mag from your hip, you know, resetting over and over and over again with the dummy rounds. This is just for like in the home, how would I How would I reload from one position to the next if I'm in a corner somewhere, if I'm on a wall, if I'm whatever it may be. Put yourself in that scenario with these dummy rounds and just practice as much as you can in your home. Again, these are just some tips and stuff that maybe some of you don't know. I'll leave the link for this this 9mm Glock ammo down low. Sorry the video took so long, but I figure the safety stuff is more critical to get through how to pull, how to present yourself. The safe finger never goes in that trigger unless you're willing to pull it. So never, even when you're training or whatever. I'll make the mistake sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm human, but anytime I'm practicing and I'm presenting, you'll never see this finger in the trigger unless I make a mistake and I call myself out on it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. You know, that's why it's practice, practice, practice. Shirt up from the holster, present forward, bang. Shirt up from the holster, present forward, bang. Practice, repetition. And thank you for watching. Simple, easy video this afternoon. I want to show you guys some of my other hobbies. I'm not an expert in firearms by any means, but I am a vet. I am trained very, very well. I'm an excellent shooter, and I'm all about safety and helping other people understand firearms instead of being scared of them. Be blessed. I love y'all. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you might have known all this stuff already. You might disagree with some of what I do, which I'm okay with that. Leave your comments down below. I try to keep as safe as I possibly can and just pass my experience from myself on to somebody else to actually help them become a more responsible, safe firearm owner. Thank you. Be blessed.